place board training. Right, we already use it in the house where we manage the situation of the front door or activity around that front door, guests coming in and out, or a delivery driver or something. So at the moment, or potentially what's happening at the moment, is doorbell goes, dog realizes that that's the noise and the trigger for him to run to the front door and get fuss, get attention, get an interaction. So what we do in the house is we teach the dog the better choice to make, the better decision to process to work through, is to go to a place, bed, basket, mat, whatever it is. Okay, we teach the dog to go to that place within the home, tell the dog to wait there. Then what we do is that gives us ample time then to deal with what's going on at the front door. Once we've dealt with what's going on at the front door, go back to the dog, reward the dog for staying and not moving, and then release the dog. It's a very, very simple place training within the home. But what we can do is we can convert that technique or that drill or that exercise, call it whatever you like, outside. Now, place boards, they're about this big, this big, this big. Really, really, really handy objects to take out training with you. Because what we're doing is we're connecting a visual object and a different sensation and a different environment underneath the dog's paws with an action. Key things that you've got to do when you are looking at place board training, it's got to be raised a distance off of the floor. The dog has to physically step up onto the board. Another key thing is the surface of the board has to be different to the surface that you're training or working on. So if you've got a tarmac, you would use carpet. If you've got grass, you would use potentially a rubber surface. The surface that you want the dog to step onto and connect that place with that action has to be different to the rest of the environment. Two key things: it has to be higher and it has to be a different surface. So it's exactly the same principle. So we would set out 2 or 3 different boards, but we would teach the dog the benefit of sitting on there. So originally, where is she? Beach, come on, mate. Good girl. There we go. Come on, Beach. Okay, what's this? Come on, you softy. Beach, come on. Good girl. So what we would do is we would teach the dog, good girl, the benefit of being on there, sitting on there. We would feed the dog on this. We would hand feed the dog on this. Good girl. We would show the dog that when her feet and paws and her backside is on that board, it's a positive thing. Good things are coming. But then what we can do is we can strategically position our boards to help us train. So we would put the board in front of us, we would recall the dog in, and the dog is associated sitting on that board. So it will come in, sit on that board and look at us, and then we can reward that behavior. Another thing that we can do is we can use a board to cast a dog away from us, send a dog away from us. Now, very, very difficult thing to do is actively send a dog away from us with no reason for doing that, because the dog will turn around and go, well, why? We have to give it a reason to want to leave us. And that reason is, you go away from me 10 meters, 15 meters, sit on that board, I'm going to walk up to you and give you a reward. Okay, so we're connecting the different boards in the different locations with all you've got to do is run to it, sit down on it, and you'll get a reward for it. Then what we can do is take one stage further, is have 3 boards sat out in front of us. So the dog is sitting right in front of us at a distance, and then we can teach it its left and right. So all it's got to do is leave that one board it's sitting on, run to the next board, which is at the right angle to his either left or right, and then sit there. So we're using a different surface and a different height elevation to connect a skill or a discipline, which will make it easier for the pennies to drop in the dog's mind. So place board training, really, really, really good tool. Get 2 or 3, keep them in your car or your truck or whatever, and use them to help your dog make the right decision. So casting out, all you've got to do is go to the board. Going left, all you've got to do is go to the board. And the same as going right, okay? Place board training, really, really good tool, beneficial tool that we can use to help our young dogs the penny drop. And as you can see, young Beach there, she's not got the confidence to go on it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed her on this. I'm going to make this area such high value that when I go, come on mate, onto your place or here or whatever word you use, she's going to go straight back on there, sit on her backside and look at me, anticipating positivity, anticipating a reward or something pleasurable. Why have I got this? Well, this, when we're teaching young dogs, I can tie lead on that. Okay, so I can have a dog sit there that is under control in terms of having a lead on, and I can reward the dog, I can feed the dog, I can hand feed, I can praise the dog, and it helps me have two hands to be able to praise the dog effectively. So I'm teaching him that this board is a great place to be without having to struggle with a lead or struggle with some form of restrainment if it's a nervous dog. So we just put the leads on top of here, tie the leads on there, and we've got both hands free to work with the dog. Placeboard training, really, really good, really, really beneficial, and it's actually a more simple training method than we first anticipate. All you got to do is teach the dog the benefit of going to a board, sitting on it, and then looking at us.